Hi guys, Curtis Candy Spaz Gamer Shotgun Boy Officer Dick Mr. Jingles here with you. And it's Tuesday. You know what that means? It's commentary day. Yeah, it's commentary Tuesday. Yay! I have to give myself like a cheer because I don't really have anybody else that'll do it. So I got to cheer for myself. Commentary day Tuesday. Today's commentary is going to be over a team deathmatch game. I just played this one earlier today because I like to give you guys a feel for my really mediocre gameplay. And the reason it's team deathmatch is some of you guys have been giving me grief that I never played team-based games in Call of Duty. It's always singular. The only reason is that's just a preference. I just like the singular games better. Plus, I'm a little better at them. And I always get this feeling that when I go into a team game, that other people see my gamer tag, and when it gets assigned to their team, they're like, oh, shit. Oh, goody, yay. I think I'll quit. I'm going to go play, like, My Little Pony or something, because this is going to suck. We're going to get raped. So anyway, that's why I play singular the most time. But I like team games, and I like this team deathmatch. As you'll see, it was very average. Let's get it started. Now, today's commentary. I had spoken to you guys before, I talked to you guys before about some of my old wrestling stories, and it seems like a lot of you enjoy them. We have a lot of wrestling fans here at the community, and even if you're not a wrestling fan, sometimes the stories are fun, just gives you a little insight into the business itself and into some of the wacky stuff that goes on, I guess. But I get asked a lot, what is your favorite match, or what's the greatest title you won, or how many belts have you won, and things like that. And as far as like my favorite match, it might come as kind of a surprise to you because, you know, winning belts is great, winning titles is fun and all that stuff. But for me, wrestling is equal parts theater and athleticism. Well, wrestling is at its best when it's telling a great story. At its core, it should be good versus evil, and you hope that at some point as a fan that good triumphs. Most of us do. Some of us want to root for evil. I've been on that bandwagon before. Whatever. But that's when wrestling is at its best. And that's when I enjoy it the most. When I can tell a story. When I can make the fans feel like they got their money's worth. That's when I feel good. So, the first match that pops to my head when people ask me about my favorite match, and I have to give you a little background for you to understand why this match was such a big deal to me. We had this regular stop we did, a show we would do every month in Vermont at this armory. And it was very popular. We got good crowds there. And the promoter had asked me to be the hardcore heel. Now, a heel in wrestling is the bad guy, but he wanted me to do it over the top. He said, just be as vicious as you could be. And I was mean. Kids would make signs and I would rip them up. I would torture the people endlessly. I'd get on the mic and say just heinous things about their town, about the way they look, their women, their kids, whatever. I was just vicious. Rotten to them. They despised me. Well, in one of the early shows there, I came out and the referee, Todd, he knew I was going to start ripping on the people. So he gets beside me and goes, hey, get this asshole in the blue shirt in the front row. He's annoying me. So I look down. There's this guy, maybe early, mid-40s, 120 pounds soaking wet, blue T-shirt on, and I started ripping on him hard. I made some really nasty comments to him on the mic, as far as I would take it on the mic. There were still kids there. But then it became a thing. Every month we would go to that show, those people would be sitting, him and his wife would be sitting in those same seats, and I would torture him. I was vicious. I would say things about his kids. I don't even know if he had kids. I assume he did, but I would be nasty about his kids. One time I came up to his wife and I said, hey, baby, how about you, step out of the Little League here and step up to the Major Leagues? So it'd be good for you. You'll finally get a little bit of fun, and it'll be good for me because I've always wanted to try interspecies sex, you cow. These are the things I would say. This guy hated me. I think the only thing that kept him from, getting up and punching me was that he did weigh 120 pounds, but I'm just lucky he never showed up with a gun or a crossbow or something. But anyway, they would be there every month. And that impressed me because you could tell these were people without a lot of money. They obviously didn't have a lot of money. He didn't have a lot of teeth either, for that matter. He had probably 3 in his head. So maybe that's why he didn't want to fight too. If you only got 3 teeth left, you don't want them knocked out. But I appreciated that. Listen, these people didn't have a lot of money, and they chose to spend it coming to see us put on a show. And not only that, it was all general seating, and they were in the same ringside seats every month, so that basically means they got there before anybody else. To be able to get the good seats every month, they were there early, and that's what I appreciate. And that, to me, is what wrestling is about. You want to tell a story for these people. You want them to have fun. You want them to get their money's worth. So we were doing this thing where we were having a tournament for the heavyweight championship of the Fed. It was going to end up with me, the top bad guy, against the top babyface, my buddy Mike. He wrestled as Johnny Kane. So every month I would go up there and I would win. I would beat one of the guys they loved because we were having a tournament, so I had to win to get to the finals. So finally, it comes time for the championship match, and we got together. My buddy Mike, Bumpy Latham, the promoter, and I, and we're sitting in the back. And Bumpy says, "Well, let's just flip a coin, and we'll decide who gets the strap." I said, "No, you can't. There's no question about who gets the strap. You can't have me win. I mean, this is what wrestling is about. I've been up here every month, being as vicious as I can to these people, and then beating the crap out of these guys that they love." I said, "Tonight they get their comeuppance. That's how this game works. Tonight, not only is Mike going to win, I'm going to have him beat the holy hell out of me." And he did. Well, I don't even remember how many chair shots I took and how many crazy bumps we took and just stupid shit we did so I could take my beating. But that's what we did. We went out, and I got the shit kicked out of me. I remember at the end of that match, I mean, I could barely move. And I know I was bleeding, and I know it was as bad a beating as I would take on a given night of wrestling, as I could take. So the match is all over. I got Kenny, my manager, comes over. He's a really good manager. And I got my arm around him. I think we're heading to the back. And Kenny looks at me and he goes, "I don't want to get hit by Bumpy. He's too stiff." Now, in wrestling terms, when you're stiff, it means you do things too hard. I didn't even know what he was talking about. Bumpy Latham, the promoter, was also Mike's manager, so he was on the other side. Come to find out, at the end of the match, okay, here we go. I'll tell you the rest of the story. There it is. Well done. Led my team to victory again. How could they not? With my mighty 7-12. Now tell me, of course I was at the forefront of that win. Let me tell you. All right, so let me. You saw my average gameplay, and I'll finish the story for you. So I'm like, I didn't even know there was something that was supposed to go on after the match, but my buddy Mike always carried a martial arts kendo stick, a real one, to the ring with him. Well, Kenny, my manager, was supposed to get hit by Bumpy with the kendo stick, and Kenny didn't want to because Bumpy did everything really hard and those hurt. So I said, "All right, Kenny, you owe me one," because I was already beat up. So I got Todd the rest attention. I pretended like I was yelling at him, and I told him, I said, "Tell Bumpy to hit me with that cane as hard as he can." So I got up on the ring apron, and I start jawing at Bumpy. He's on the other side on the ring apron. I said, "Listen, pal, get down." I said, "Get off this ring apron. You don't have a hair on your balls to hit me with that cane. If you do," or with that kendo stick, I said, "if you do, it opens up a whole new world for you. Just get down there and be a little manager, do your little thing, bark your little orders." I said, "You come into my world, and I will beat your ass." Now, the crowd is going nuts. We used to get big crowds there. They wanted him to hit me, but the thing that struck me the most, this guy used to torture, was literally standing on his seat, and he's screaming, "Hit him! Hit him! Hit him!" It's like his whole world was revolved around, tied into these storylines and into this match. So we did our thing. We both get in the ring. I charge at Bumpy, and he wailed me. And he did hit me hard. He took it to heart when he said hit me as hard as he could, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, he broke the kendo stick. And I went down, and I remember having enough wherewithal, because this was the payoff moment for me. So I rolled out of the ring intentionally right in front of this guy I always tortured. Now I'm on the ground, and he's loving it, because I just got the shit kicked out of me. And so I wanted to give him his payment. This is his payment for being a loyal fan to us, for being a fan of our shows. And this is what wrestling's about. It's about telling stories. So I started being a little bitch. And I started telling, I looked up and I said, "Don't laugh at me. Why? Don't laugh at me. I hate when people laugh at me." And of course, that was just, now he's more into it. And now he was the center of attention because I was talking to him. So he got to be the big shot in front of the rest of the crowd who's all laughing at me. And he was the ringleader torturing me. Now, Kenny, my manager, comes over. He was, like I said, very good manager. He picked up on what was going on right away. He's helping me up, and he's yelling at the guy too. He's going, "Stop it! You're humiliating him. You're making him feel bad. You're hurting his feelings." Kenny's going like that. Well, the guy's eating it up. He's going, "Oh, are your little feelings hurt? Are we hurting your little feelings?" Now everybody's laughing, and this guy's getting to be the center of attention, making fun of me. And I was like, almost close to crying because I was so upset of everybody laughing at me and everything. And Kenny helped me to the back, and that was my favorite match. The reason was, this guy, like I say, he spent his money to come see these wrestling shows. That's where his money went. That's his form of entertainment. A lot of people say, "Oh, wrestling's stupid," because it's, like I said, it's part theater, part athletics. You know the outcome. It's not real competition. No, it isn't. But it's a real show. It's real entertainment. And for this guy, it was a big deal. He liked getting involved in the characters. He liked having the show put on for him. And he got the comeuppance. It's how life is supposed to work. I was a bully. That's all I was. My character was just a big, nasty-ass bully. The bully got the shit kicked out of him, and the guy who was having his underwear, well, not literally, but figuratively pulled up over his head, got to laugh and be the center of attention while all the shit came raining down on the bully's head. That's as good as it gets. Playing that role, getting to bring someone's emotions up to that level and letting them feel that good about the way things turned out, that was one of my favorite nights of wrestling. One of the worst beatings I ever took, and yet one of my all-time favorite matches. And that guy had to leave there feeling, I'm sure his very sizable wife got some really good stuff given to her that night because he was feeling like a man. So that's one of my all-time favorite matches. I can tell you more wrestling stories if you guys like. Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, every time I think about that match, I smile. I can still picture that guy in his 3 teeth to this day. But that's how wrestling is supposed to work. That's putting on a wrestling show. And I had a good time that night for what I can remember of it. All right, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's commentary. Hope you enjoyed that really below average gameplay. Tomorrow is Happy Wheels Wednesday. I know that because I own a calendar. So tomorrow's Happy Wheels Wednesday. Got lots of shit coming up. Our chat roulette videos have been taking off really well. I've been real pleased that you guys enjoy them, so we'll be doing more of them. I actually ordered 4 new masks, so there's going to be new characters coming in on the chat roulette videos too, and I think they're going to be funny. One of them will be one that's very familiar to you guys who have been with the channel for a long time. So see you guys real soon. See you later.